This is news analysis coming to you live on Politics and Business Television Abuja. Good afternoon and many thanks for joining us. I am Umike Joseph Matthew. The headlines. Deadly Boko Haram attack forces thousands to flee Ngoshe in Borno. Senate summons former NNPCL boss over unaccounted 210 trillion naira expenditure. Iran envoy to Nigeria dismisses Trump's claim of influence over Tehran leadership. And on the foreign scene, Tehran hits by heavy bombings on day 7 of US-Israel war on Iran. Details of these stories and more after this break. Do stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. The federal government has reaffirmed its commitment to strengthening the enforcement of the federal character principle across federal ministries, departments, and agencies as part of efforts to promote fairness, balanced representation, and equitable distribution of opportunities among all states of the Federation. The Federal Character Commissioner representing Oyo State, Ayodeji Abbas Alishe Loye, gave the assurance yesterday during a press conference and inaugural meeting with staff of the Commission in Oyo State, reiterating the government's resolve to ensure stricter compliance with the policy in recruitment, appointments, and resource allocation across federal institutions. He said the Commission, inaugurated on January 22, 2026 under the leadership of its executive chairman, Honorable Ayo Huliyat Somidiron, had already begun strengthening oversight mechanisms to promote equitable representation among the states of the Federation. And to security matters now, suspected terrorists from Boko Haram have reportedly abducted more than 300 residents during the state late Wednesday night. They have sought for thousands of residents to flee to neighboring Boko community, where many displaced survivors have been sleeping on roads and in school buildings for fear of further attacks. Reports indicate that the insurgents killed an unspecified number of civilians and abducted several women after launching an attack on a military post in the area. Sources said the terrorists first stormed the military base in Ngoshe around 1 a.m. before unleashing violence on residents. Eyewitnesses noted that the attack lasted several hours, during which several houses were burnt, causing widespread panic and destruction. The air component of Operation Hadinke was later deployed to repel the attackers and disperse them into the surrounding forest. Reports on Thursday indicated that the Nigerian military killed scores of the fleeing insurgents following the attack, which reportedly left 9 soldiers dead. Surveillance aircraft later tracked the militants along known escape routes and carried out precision airstrikes that killed more than 50 fighters. A spokesperson for the Borno State Police Command, Nahum Daso, confirmed the incident, saying many residents were still unaccounted for, while the senator representing Borno South, Ali Ndume, condemned the attack and disclosed that more than 100 residents remain missing. Still on security matters, a Deputy Inspector General of Police, Frank Umba, along with several other senior officers, is set to retire from the Nigerian police force following recent leadership changes. Their retirement comes after the exit of former Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbetekun and the confirmation of Tunji Diso as the new Inspector General of Police, who was sworn in on Wednesday as the 23rd indigenous IGP. The exits of Umba and other deputy inspectors general coincide with the slated promotion of 7 assistant inspectors general to the rank of DIG. Sources at the force headquarters indicated that the retiring DIGs had been preparing to leave but were waiting for a formal signal. The 7 AIGs are scheduled to visit the Police Service Commission for their promotion exams, paving the way for the planned retirements. So the commission has neither confirmed nor denied the development. Frank Kumba, one of the retiring DIGs, is a trained lawyer with a law degree from University of Lagos and was called to the Nigerian bar in 2002. He earned a master's degree in law with distinction from University of Dundee and attended several international programs, including the FBI National Academy in Quantico, US, and leadership courses at Harvard University and University of Oxford during his career. He served as Commissioner of Police in Ogun State, led the Border Patrol Force at Force Headquarters, and head Operational Command in Aja and Festac, Lagos. The Senate of Nigeria on Thursday summoned the immediate past Group Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Mili Kyari, over an alleged 210 trillion naira expenditure by the National Oil Company between 2017 and 2023 that lawmakers claim has not been properly accounted for. Also summoned were the former Chief Financial Officer Umar Isa and the former Group General Manager of the National Petroleum Investment Management Services, Bala Wunti. The Senate committee handling the probe threatened to issue warrants of arrest if the former management officials fail to appear before it on a date yet to be communicated. The committee also questioned why the National Oil Company allegedly spent about 5 billion naira on the change of its name from the defunct Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation to the Nigerian NNPCL. Senator Aliyu Wadada, chairman of the committee, told journalists that the former management team must appear before the panel, alongside the incumbent Group Chief Executive Officer Bayo Ojulari. He described the 5 billion naira expenditure on the name change as unacceptable and demanded satisfactory explanation from the company. According to Wadada, the resolutions followed the inability of NNPCL to provide satisfactory responses to 19 questions raised by lawmakers from the audit report. Despite these concerns, the committee reaffirmed its support for the administration of President Bola Tinubu, emphasizing that the federal government remains committed to promoting transparency, probity, and accountability in the management of public funds. The chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Ola Olukayode, revealed yesterday that over 100 senior lawyers are currently facing trial for corruption-related offenses. Speaking in Abuja at the second annual lecture of the Body of Benchers, Olukayode expressed concern over the increasing involvement of legal practitioners in financial crimes, noting that the EFCC had received multiple petitions against members of the profession. Investigations reportedly uncovered offenses ranging from the diversion of clients' funds to facilitating money laundering. At the event, the Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee presented its 2025 report detailing sanctions imposed on erring lawyers. Oyechi Ipiazu-san stated that 17 practitioners were punished for professional misconduct, with penalties including suspension and being struck off the roll. He described the offenses as infamous conduct in the course of performance of their duties as legal practitioners, highlighting the consequences of breaching ethical standards. Chairman of the Body of Benchers and former Chief Justice of Nigeria, Kayode Ariwola, has said the gathering was intended to reflect on the state of the legal profession and reinforce ethical norms. The Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudirat Kekereedun, underscored the critical role of regulations in maintaining the integrity and credibility of the legal profession. You're still watching news analysis right here on Politics and Business Television Abuja. Still to come, Iranian envoy to Nigeria dismisses Trump's claim of influence over... Welcome back. The ambassador of the of Iran to Nigeria, Chulam Reza Adavi Raja, has criticized remarks by Donald Trump suggesting he could influence Iran's leadership following the reported death of the country's supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, in a recent attack. Speaking at a press conference in Abuja on Thursday, Raja insisted that Iran would determine its leadership and political future independently, without foreign Khamenei's death, urging Iranians to take control of their country and leadership. During a bilateral meeting with Friedrich Merz at the White House, the U.S. president also claimed that waves of joint U.S.-Israeli attacks had eliminated individuals he believed were being prepared for key military leadership roles in Iran. Responding to the claims, Raja dismissed the suggestions that foreign powers could shape Iran's leadership, emphasizing that such decisions would be made solely by the Iranian people. He also noted that relations between Nigeria and Iran remain cordial, highlighting more than 5 decades of diplomatic ties and cooperation in sectors such as agriculture, energy, oil and gas, industry, and education. The ambassador further described the attack on Iran as a deliberate act of military aggression that violated international law and the United Nations Charter. And now to the world of business. President Bola Tinubu has resolved the long-standing dispute over oil prospecting license 245 in the Niger Delta, ending a 50-year standoff. The Nigerian government announced on Thursday that Italian energy company Eni, Arawolu Vehejin, noted that the new terms improved on a 2011 agreement offering greater value for Nigeria while providing investors with predictability, balanced outcome, ensuring stronger value accretion and safeguards for the Federation. OPL 245, the focus of the agreement, is Nigeria's largest untapped deep-water oil block. And to the foreign scene, intense airstrikes continued across Tehran and other Iranian cities on the 7th day of the U.S.-Israeli war on Iran, with United States Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth warning that the attacks were about to surge dramatically. Israel announced hit deeply buried ballistic missile sites. Explosions were reported in Tehran, including near residential areas in Tehran University, as well as at a military academy. Attacks were also reported in other cities, including Kamasha, Shiraz, and Isfahan, with the Iranian Red Crescent reporting at least 1,332 deaths since the fighting began. In Shiraz, Zebashir area alone, 20 people were killed and 30 injured, including 2 paramedics, according to local officials and state media. Israel's military said its air force destroyed 6 Iranian missile launchers before they could target Israeli territory, and claimed to have taken out 3 advanced Iranian defense systems. The escalation highlights the intensifying conflict and its heavy toll on both civilians and military targets in Iran. And now to the world of sports. We now join my colleague for the details.
Hello, welcome to your PRB Sport News Update. I'm Abel Sunday. We start in Melbourne, where the 2026 Formula 1 season officially rolled to life today. All eyes are on Lewis Hamilton now in his 2nd year with Ferrari, who declares this morning that his sole focus is bringing the world title back to Maranello. Meanwhile, in Italy, the Milano Cortina Winter Paralympics officially opened tonight at the historic Arena del Verona. Expect a spectacular ceremony as the games begin. And in NBA, the NBA hardwood was electric last night. Victor Wembanyama was a force, dropping 38 points and 16 boards to lead the Spurs over Detroit. In Orlando, the Magic stunned the Mavericks 115-114 on a last-second welder Carter Junior dunks, spoiling the return of rookie sensation Copper Flags. Now down to football, Arsenal has taken a commanding 7-point lead at the top of the Premier League after a gritty win over Brighton. It's a different story for Tottenham. However, a 3-1 lose to Crystal Palace has them sitting just 1 point above the relegation zone in a season of crisis. That's your P&B Sport News Update. I'm Abel Sunday. Stay tuned for more news analysis.
Thank you very much, Abel Sunday, for that sports news. We now go for our next segment, which of course is the focus of the day. The Nigerian Senate has summoned former top officials of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, including ex-CEO Mili Kyari, over an alleged 210 trillion naira expenditure between 2017 and 2023. The lawmakers say has not been properly accounted for. The committee also questioned the company's reported 15 billion naira spent on changing its name from the old NNPC to NNPCL, calling the move unacceptable and demanding clear explanations. Senator Aliyu Wadada, chairman of the probe, warns that warrants of arrest could be issued if the former management team fails to appear before the panel, which also expects the current CEO, Bayo Ojulari, to testify. While the Senate remains supportive of President Bola Tinubu's administration, it stressed the need for transparency. All right, welcome back to the focus of the day. And yes, I have in the studio with me to discuss the issue of the Senate versus former NNPC officials, whether it is justice or he is a public affairs analyst. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, Comrade Emmanuel, of course, is of the Nigerian Citizens Good Governance Initiative, simply known as the YADE Initiative. Now, Scandals in the oil sector isn't new, but what do you make of the latest NNPCL audit and oversight of Nigerian oil sector audit?
Well, it's a big concern for the country. It tells on the economy, it tells on leadership. And by this, we have a long way to go. It's a joke, a play taking too long. This is not the first time from designing and rest of them, Yakubu and Co, who were arrested, prosecuted, and the recovery of looted funds from the NNPC. It is not the first. It has been a recurrent event with the corporation. But it's so shameful, so embarrassing that you allow a group managing director who assumed office from 2017 to 2023. What is the gap count? Over 7 years.
Yes.
From 2017 to 2023. You are now coming out to tell Nigerians that the whopping sum of 210 trillion looted.
Or unaccounted for.
Yeah, call it unaccounted or looted. It's good as being looted.
So how alarming is this?
It's like I said, it's devastating, and it's an embarrassment to the integrity of the executive, the anti-graft agency, the lawmakers, who are by virtue of oversight trying to summon military. What gap? Over 7 years. Was he under immunity? So audit report. Were there a lot of gap? Was he operating from the moon? Why the senator in Nigeria? So my worry, the gap from 2017 to 2023, and coming up with this hard man-blowing report of looting, misappropriated fund at this material time, is worrisome. It tells how weak, how inconsistent, how unstable, how unserious we are as a nation. Nobody does this. What is accountability? Is accountability a joke? Is it intentional or just a will of an individual? Do you really have systems that set apart mechanism that checkmate, executive activities, transactions at this
how about the Senate?
Why do you keep quiet?
Yes. How about the Senate's oversight function? Like you said, between 2017 and 2023.
You see.
Yes.
The Senate, I don't want to. This is becoming a show.
Okay.
To me, it's a show. Because I know last year this very issue was raised. 2025, it was raised by the same Wadada-led committee, Senator Wadada-led committee. But we learned in the media, we learned that there was a resolution, differences have been cleared, and the issue piped down, went low. Now, the same issue of looted fund, unaccountable fund is coming up at this material time with this mind-blowing amount of money. 210 trillion. Not 210 naira. Money, what is the budget of Nigeria per year? This money can finance Nigeria budget for over 10 or more than 10 years. Annual budget. And by this, Nigeria will witness development. There will be no room for poverty, insecurity, underdevelopment, out of school children, unemployment, and all of that. In the face of this gross consequence of underdevelopment looming everywhere, insecurity, out of school children, unemployment, economic instability, and an individual, a CEO of a corporation, was he under immunity? I know when governors are governors are under immunity. They allow the governor to loot, to do whatever he like with the public fund, and maybe they say wait until after he finishes his tenure, then EFCC begin to go after. All this is wrong.
Okay.
Because the looting alone, the consequence on the average Nigerians, people lost their life.
Okay, now what do you expect at the end of this probe? What do you expect at the end of this probe? Because now the Senate appears to be very serious about the audit report now, summoning the former NNPCL boss and all that. So at the end of the day, what should Nigerians expect?
Well, Nigerians at this time are worried. And every Nigeria expect that justice, if there's something like we call justice, or see thorough checkmating and recovery, or whoever looted, imagine changing of, I know they're in charge of changing of name and all of that. What if CAC that if it is CAC, okay, the person that collected the money to come out and tell Nigeria, how do you mean by changing of a name 5 billion naira? Staggered and epileptic pass supply everywhere. 99 to date, we have